Welcome back to the final tutorial for today's Future Climate Physical Basis Day. In this tutorial, we're going to be taking the projections and multi-model analysis that you've already synthesized today and including some observations for context and validation of these projections. So synthesizing model data and observational data is a really important part of climate science and of the IPCC process. So we know that CMIP6 models are one of our primary ways to look into the future, at what our future climate might hold. But at the same time, we want to be able to have confidence and context for those projections. And observations, both modern historical observations and paleoproxy observations, provide that critical context and a way to validate or to invalidate our CMIP6 data and their projections. So that's what you're going to be doing in this final tutorial. You're going to take paleoclimate sea surface temperature data set, the one shown on the left here, and using that to provide context for the projections that you've been analyzing throughout today's tutorials, and to provide validation. So in a validation sense, there are other CMIP6 projects, in addition to Scenario MIP, which you've been working with today, like PMIP, which is the Paleo Model Intercomparison Project. And PMIP simulates extreme past conditions to test whether climate models and Earth system models are able to accurately represent those past climate extremes, which may be very different from our current and recent and short-term projected future climate. And you're going to be looking at this plot and contrasting with your data sets that you've already been producing and modern observations in this final tutorial. But before you do that, I just wanted to show you plot that I think is a great example of this model and observation synthesis. And this is a plot that you saw earlier in the course, last week in your Paleoclimate Day. And this plot shows carbon dioxide time series on the top and global surface temperature change on the bottom. And these plots include paleoproxy data, modern historical observations, and climate model projections for several scenarios. And one of the really nice things that comes out of synthesizing these diverse data sets is that we can see that the temperature and carbon dioxide co-vary both in our past observations over various timescales and in our future projections, which gives us confidence in a model's abilities to reproduce this physical connection between temperature and carbon dioxide. And so now I'm going to leave you to go into this final tutorial and do some observation model comparisons and validation with the data that you've been working with today.